In today's gaming news, Blizzard reveals 4 new heroes, War of the Vikings launches, and ArcheAge is now in alpha with no NDA. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. My name is Force with your day's gaming news. First up today, at PAX East last week, Blizzard revealed 4 new heroes that will be coming pretty soon to Heroes of the Storm. Those include Brightwing, a versatile support hero who can teleport from ally to ally, Zagara with map-wide components such as dropping creep tumors that will increase the speed of her and her minions, Lily, a support hero with lots of ways to protect herself and allies, and then finally Murky, a weak but persistent Murloc who can lay eggs anywhere on the map for instant respawning. So of course we expected new heroes to be coming to the game. I believe they launched with something like 25 or so. It was like 23, 24, 25. A fairly small pool compared to a lot of other MOBAs. We anticipated more would be coming. We are, after all, just in the technical alpha, and it looks like we have a glimpse now of some of those upcoming heroes, 4 to be exact, and I think there were actually 3 others that weren't officially revealed, but we got glimpses of. So it's exciting, you know, we're gonna be seeing new heroes. It's funny though, because every time this comes up, I watch the video. I watched the video for what's his name, Brightwing, and it's nothing but comments saying you copied Dota 2, and I scratch my head and like these are all Warcraft models taken from the Warcraft mod Dota that then Valve copied when they made Dota 2. So I don't know if people just don't know, but I feel like it's probably just lots of people trolling a ton. So, you know, there is that. Next up in news, War of the Vikings, the successor to War of the Roses, is officially launched. We had a launch trailer today for the game, and, you know, it just shows off various combat of the Vikings fighting, talks about what it means to be a brave Viking, all that fun stuff. Played this game a little bit in the past. I am hoping to give it a look later today as well. I'm pretty sure I've got a full release version of the title, but either way, if I don't, I'll be picking one up. And yeah, I just want to see what it's like. I think they've added new maps, a whole bunch of new gameplay modes. Basically, the best way to look at it is it is very, very similar to War of the Roses, but it seems a little more tuned, and the combat does feel a little better, a little quicker, faster spawning, a little more visceral, which definitely plays to the theme of the Vikings. That's something that they were trying to do with this. So how it's going to hold up in the long run, you know, it seemed, maybe it's just me, but it seemed like when War of the Roses launched, around the same time that we saw Chivalry Medieval Warfare, there was lots of talk and excitement about it. I'm not really getting so much of that now with War of the Vikings. I don't know if it just the allure has sort of worn off because it's so similar to War of the Roses, but again, from what I've played of it, it feels like an improvement over War of the Roses. Take a look maybe on Twitch for some gameplay later today if you're interested in seeing what that's all about. And last up in news today, we had the official launch of Alpha for ArcheAge last week, and most excitingly is that there's no NDA for the game. So if you haven't heard about it, ArcheAge is a sandbox MMO that boasts over 100 potential class combinations with a player-driven economy, world-changing PvP, and naval combat. You can literally own your own ships and ride around on the sea and shoot each other. Beyond it also being an MMORPG with basic land-based combat as well. You know, I have to say, I watched some streams yesterday. I watched, I believe it was Co-Carnage, stream a little bit of gameplay, and I'm intrigued. I really want to give this a look. So I have reached out to the developer. I'm hoping they get back to me with access to the alpha because I would love to play it, much like I'm anticipating, much like I am planning to play a War of the Vikings sometime this week. I'm also hopefully planning to play some ArcheAge and show you guys some coverage of this game. You can ride around on gliders. I really want to dive in though and see more about the sandbox aspects of it because the game looks like it plays well. The combat and just visually it looks pretty good. But I've also heard, again, you know, you can own your own ship. You can apparently build your own towns. How much depth is there? I'm not quite sure yet. As I get more information, as I try the game out myself, I'll keep you guys up to date and expect some gameplay footage of that game as well. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of The Feed. As always, thank you so much for watching. Once again, this has been Force, and you have just been force-fed. Yes, Brightwing looks a lot like Puck, but guess what? Puck looks a lot like a fairy dragon from Warcraft. So I'm just saying, you know...